Hello, fellow wanderers. I'm Endri, and thank you for joining me as we wander through some more Sunless Sea. All right. Well, we found a few places of importance. The Salt Lions, Frostbound's not so good. I've got some things I need to find over here, so that's kind of where we're going to head. We're going to just basically head directly east for now. The eventual goal is to end up by the Sphinxes. But we might as well explore a little bit while we're at it, gather some more port reports, because that's how we get our money. I suppose we will start at Hunter's Island. Now, I am not going to be progressing the Hunter's Keep story quite yet. My veil is not high enough, or my mirrors. Because eventually, you're going to want to resolve a particular event there in a particular fashion. And what I will say is, you will want to have a decent amount of veils. In this case, we're not there. However, I will stop in. Stopping in doesn't do anything. Where do I grab the port report? We've already seen it. So that's one of the big things is, as you're exploring around, make sure to grab the port reports from places you stop by. They're quite useful. It's nice that we have the copper long box as well. That could be a little bit of a pain to find, actually. You can buy them in Irem, which we have not been to yet. But it's not really that common to do. We could stop by Pigmode Island. We might. I don't like to stop by them unless I've got a particular amount of supplies in my hold. In this case, I don't have that many. So I think we're actually going to not pass by them this time around. My goal, as stated, is essentially to get the Sphinx Stone dropped off as soon as possible. It will provide us a few important things. And of course, the longer we're at sea, the more likely we are to die. I did not repair my hull, which is probably for the best. It's rather expensive to do, and we're not even at half hull yet. Okay, that's just a steam penance. Tale of Three Graves. The hunters at rest. The shell in it, right? They're hunters. They killed a turtle the size of London and built their city in its shell. Ship from the Shellonate came by hunting the midnight whale. 3 of them had died cowards, so their bodies couldn't go into the Z. They paid us for the land and whale ivory. Still got a piece, but I keep it safe. So that gave us a Z story, memory of distant shores, which are nice to have. And we'll compile a port report. We can buy supplies and such here. I really don't want to get in a fight with this. Oh, and in fact, on that note, he will probably lose sight of us sooner than later. Yeah, we're good. I do, however, want to stop by Station 3 because we've got the long box that I do want to turn in. Are you chasing us? Go away! I mean, we'd win the fight. Like, quite handily win the fight. I just don't want to get into the fight. We're actually eating through supplies faster than I'm used to. We've got enough, though. We can always buy some more. Alright, we're going to deliver a long box. The only way past the wall is an unopposing but sturdy-looking triple locked gate, silvery metal. A sign beside it reads Deliveries. The gate stands open. There are no stevedores, however, and no wagons waiting to help with the heavy cargo. There's only a sign that reads Deliveries, and a painted hand which points insolently up the staircase. There is cargo in the hold marked for destination. A long, low, heavy box. It'll be fun getting up the stairs, no doubt. A great deal of grumbling from the crew. The stairs are sharp-edged and wet. The box is heavy, and its contents inclined to shift. After a few slips and a bad bruise to the shin, you resort to placing crew members along the stairs, handing the box along. Your warehouse at the top of the stairs, but it's not apparent. But it's not apparently your destination. Another sign points along the narrow path towards the building with the spire. Deliveries, it says, more aggressively this time. Someone on the spire building is singing. The song sets your teeth on edge. Regular warehouse and leave the box. Send ahead to the building for extra hands. I'm going to go ahead and send ahead for extra hands. The closer you get, the less the building and the spire looks like a church. The walls are soot blackened and made of brick. There are no windows, only narrow vents up near the roof. From these comes a low and tearful singing. Last you were close enough to bang on the door. An austere acolyte answers it. She is dressed in black from head to foot. Her gloves are thick leather and her goggles are double glass. She continues singing right up to the moment she has to acknowledge you. Leave the boxes. She stops, pushing the goggles away from her eyes. She's noticed perhaps the first time that there are no boxes. Deliveries come all the way up here, she says before singing again. You think that your crew is unaccustomed to that sort of work. She looks exasperated as a person can, while continuing to sing about the rabbit's feet and edible emeralds, but at last she says she'll see to it if you can lead her servants to the correct landing. Not much later, you're standing in the mist watching a parade of claymen. They hoist the box on their shoulders and march away, surprisingly quiet, towards the building with the steeple. An austere acolyte leads them, her lamp swinging on a chain. Follow because you haven't been paid. Follow because you're curious. Follow because singing has gotten into your bones. I'm going to follow because I'm curious. The shipment would appear to be something other than provisions in the ordinary sense. On the shoulders, Clayman stumbles and the box slips from his shoulder. There's a sound as though the sleeper's head inside had thumped against the lid, but no one wakes and the box is back in position. The austere acolyte directs the arrangement of the long box in the room under the steeple. There are many other boxes there already, stacked in rows, 3 or 4 times as many as you have brought. Another corner of the room is a pile of wood from previous boxes already emptied and dismantled. Thinking to herself about a mountain upholstered in velvet, she takes a crowbar to the box. The corpse inside is permanently dead, in a way that the dead of London often are not. Not a drownie, not a tomb colonist, but not coming back either. It looks pale and ordinary, except for the slight distension of the skin over the breastbone. Gently, the acolyte presses there and nods, singing about tulips embroidered with yellow floss. She lifts the body into a marble slab. Without pause in her lyric, she prepares a scalpel. Your presence does not seem to bother her. You've never heard of this practice before. Metal and metal. The austere acolyte extracts, deftly, with very little blood, a heart-sized sphere of silver-gray metal. With a giant nutcracker, she cracks the sphere, and another sphere inside that, and another. Finally, in the center, she comes to something heavy, small and black. She lifts it out with tongs and looks at it through her goggles. The song falters, but she manages to keep humming, though the words are lost. She puts the black and heavy thing into a jar marked with the word of correspondence. She closes the jar and seals it with red wax. Finally, the corpse is removed again, and the marble slab wiped clean. She comes to pay you. Thank you, she says. Return another day. I may have something else. We got a secret in payment. And some points. Errands for the acolyte. Deliveries to the smith. A present. We have fragments, but I want to keep them. Heart metal for the smith. Why the claimant can't deliver it, you don't know. So we'll deliver it. Smithy is long, low building that you missed on your first area of the island. The blacksmith works, it proves, entirely in heart metal, although it is so hard and cruel that it wears his tools out quickly. Nothing like it for weaponry, he says. Does more damage than ordinary steel, and a little bit of the shrapnel give you trouble to the end of your days. And we're done here. But hey, we got it progressed, so there you go. Alright, so we need to sail north. And I'm going to keep the light on for now because I want to reveal the map. Supplies might be getting a little short. Oh well. We'll make do. Or we won't. We might come to a very tragic end with this captain. I don't know. Hopefully not. We're not that far into this one yet, after all. Though, to be honest, my first captain generally does not survive particularly long. Oh, you jerk. You missed. That one did not miss. I am unhappy about that. So the trick to fighting these guys is to keep behind them. They do not have weapons that can hit behind them. They just have weapons on the front. And now he's dead. And that's what you get for shooting me. Crest of Curiosities, 5 supplies. Hardtack and water, unexpected box of nails. Would-be wit remarks that nails look tastier than the hardtack. Yeah. Actually, that's pretty convenient. Though I think that's filled our hole a bit more. More than. Oh no, we're actually pretty good. We're actually pretty good indeed. I like that. Which means I'm going to stop by pig mode because we've got enough supplies for the needs 5 supplies event. So we'll go ahead and see what they need. If they actually do end up taking 5 supplies from us, then we will, well, we'll head home a little early, I suppose. I would really like to go to the Salt Lions, though. Really and truly like to go to the Salt Lions. Okay, what awaits us here? Hail Cavia, the niece most adorable nation, scurries around your legs. Scintillac harvesters drag heavy bags to the islands bound to their silos. Industrious rodents work hard on towering edifices. Some of them are almost neck-high. London will never believe a bloody word of this. So we could purchase Scintillac. It's down to 105. I'm not going to. We're going to pile a port report because we're here. And we're going to try and resolve an issue. Hairless advisor, you return to us. Praise the tide. We need your wisdom once again. Rats and cavies like quivering canvas of this part of town. We think it started from something in the water. We thought we contained it, but it's spreading. Medicines are powerless against it. So we can have them burn down the affected parts of town, or we could have them recommend the sick be quarantined. I'm going to quarantine the sick. So we got 2 spirit, lost 1 civilization, resolve the dilemma for now. Away from the contaminated water, the symptoms of the disease soon fade, but it will be considerably longer before the sufferers are ready to return to work. So it sucks that we lost the civilization, but we did get the spirit. 10 is the max. But the fact that we got them to like each other in 1 attempt saved us a lot of time, which means we might actually complete that event properly. That's a friendly ship, so we're not going to worry about it. And we are going to continue sailing north. I want to find the Abbot Horizon. I really desperately do. There are reasons for this. Ah. The Dubois Maelstrom. Alright, let's head over towards the Salt Lions. We'll head a bit north from there. We do want to find Mount Palmerston eventually. And we do want to find the Chapel of Lights. We're going to need both of them for some events. And basically, once I do this first run of ore, I'm probably going to do several more and meet you back in London when I'm done transporting it. I'll do that between videos, of course. Otherwise, it gets fairly boring just watching me sail around the sea, especially because we're close enough that it's not really all that threatening. Compile a port report. We will visit the Unmakers, which will lose us 5 terror. And here we go. The stones weep. The Unmaker advises you, ignore them. Unless they flood your hold, of course. Then you should probably drop them overboard. Don't tell anyone I said that. That basically fills our hold. It's very hard to transport these at this point, but we'll make do. You put a 200 deposit down, you get 500 back when you deliver all 20. So you make 300 echoes profit, which is not insubstantial at the start of the game. Alright, so we want to go this way. I'm turning my light off for a minute because I don't want that jelly floor to attack us. I turned on the light too soon, apparently. Are you chasing me still? No. Okay, good. And I want to be wary of the moth that could be up here. Yeah, storm bones, ragged crow. We're a bit east of the ragged crow, though. I don't actually know if Avid Horizon moves. I think maybe just the things around it moves. If so, it means I need to go directly north of here. And be very careful of the tyrant moth. We are burning a bit more fuel than I would like. I don't see Avid Horizon though, so we are just going to sail east now. Good to reveal a bit of the map. This, by the way, these little flavor texts, they actually tell you what your number is for your something to wait you, which is useful for certain events. The wiki goes into that a little bit more. But what it propagates is random, and there are duplicates that have different values, so it's not always that good. So we're at the Void's Approach. I don't remember what's in the Void's Approach. That's a Lifeberg. It's probably going to leave us well enough alone, though. Get on the bridge with a likely Lassus locket. First for both of you. Shorebound lovers grow lonely and sea captains die young. The air is cold, but the heat of your blood has warmed the metal of the locket. Keep it close. Good. You have a sweetheart in London. That will be very useful later. Avid Horizon does move, so this is Avid Horizon. We're hoping for two particular events to occur. Well, one we're guaranteed to have. We want to grab the Hunter's Eye, which just costs 77 fragments when you come up here. We have more than enough. It kind of sucks, though, like if you get to the Avid Horizon and you get another secret, and then you don't have any fragments, so you can't get the item you want from here. So we want to explore on the shoreline. We got the one we wanted. What can be found at the bleak beach? A ragged tent flaps in the freezing wind. Ice-encrusted bones lie tumbled at the flap. Someone came here to be forgotten. Get an outlandish artifact. 5 terror gained. 3 supplies. 1 eyeless skull. And an empty mirror catch box. And that is the one we wanted. Stillness is such as there is a gather out here with nothing moves. The stillness is itself of interest to the Admiralty. It's not impossible someone foolish might attempt to open the gate. It's not inconceivable that it might open from the other side. And what then? Your journey here may attract the attention of a certain Crimson patron. Return your port report to the Admiralty in London to unlock a new story. A story which we will probably not be doing with this captain. Ice by the gate's edge, there was a whisper about the hunting quest, revenge. Yes, this is what the rumors mean. A hunter is frozen in the ice, hands contorted to claws, mouth agape. With her left hand, she plucked her own eye from the socket. Lies very close to the surface of the ice. If stories are true, there's dark virtue in that eye. Take it then. Perhaps you should put it in a jar. 2 vast winged shapes guard a gate of something like resin, smooth but uneven. It is deep gant, the color of what remains when all other colors have been eaten. Ice crust over the crack between the valves. Approach and your breath freezes, falls tinkling in shards from the air. It would be utterly foolish to touch the thing. Merciless wind blows from everywhere to everywhere. It passes without effort through the bridge coat, your flesh, your lungs, the docks lie empty. We are going to hopefully be coming back to the Avid Horizon later with this captain. It may not happen, though. There are any number of reasons that I won't survive long enough to do the Avid Horizon, but I would like to. However, that will generally mean I need to get a different ship. This ship doesn't do so well. Ah, we made it to Palmerston's Reach. Very good. Very good because fuel is cheap here, and I need fuel. I am a bit surprised that I haven't found the Cathedral of Lights yet. We're not quite to Irem. Irem's always over there. So it must be directly next to Irem, which is surprising. Almost all of the games I've played, it's been very Western focused. That's alright, though. Port Palmerston. This is where you can get some of the cheapest fuel in the game. Fuel, by the way, comes from the devils, demons, what have you. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but the road to the Brimstone Convention is paved with cinders. Do they admit visitors to the Brimstone Convention? Probably not, but you never know. They might sell tickets. Look down and see Port Palmerston like a toy in the ruins of like gravel. You've come far, but the volcano's cone still rears above you. Rest a little before you're to the last half mile. The road to the crater ends in a brass gate and a crater wall. Beside it stands an oddly charming little cottage. It's thrown together from pumice and basalt, but it features honeysuckle. An equally charming devilless in tea gown leans against the cottage wall, twirling a parasol and fanning herself. Guardian of this place, she remarks languidly. You may not pass, but can I offer you a cup of Amaralia tea? Amalaria, that's not one of the poisonous ones, is it? You're pretty sure it's not. No doubt she'd be much less pleasant if you tried to break down the gate, but just now, she's a courteous, soft-voiced woman in a tea gown. The tea is hot, nutty, and rather pleasant. She asks you about your voyages. She is desperate for news of London. Of its mists, its nights, its sick, its poor, its fires. She tactfully turns aside questions about the convention, but she shares some of the secrets of the Neath. Come and see me again, she says, next time you're here. Bring me a present if you like. There was a revolution in Hell, and the aristocracy of the devils fled here. Here they plot in exile. They don't do us any harm. They stay up here, and we stay down there. If Hell's fighting itself, it's good for us, isn't it? And here we can buy fuel. I'm going to buy... Should be enough. We can also buy Devilbone Dice and Ambiguous Eoliths and Zoop. Keep that in mind. And you can buy supplies as well. Alright. I don't particularly want to go any further east. So I'm going to turn my attention southward. And back towards London. We do want to make our way home again to turn in the Sphinx Stone. It is of paramount importance that I do not die before I turn in the Sphinx Stone. Though it may happen. You start with very little money. And echoes can really make it a lot easier to survive the first little ways into the game. I see a dock symbol? Oh. Underwater to the east. That's alright. That's for the submarine. I'm not going to be doing any of the submarine stuff for a while. Probably when I get to my captain that I intend to keep. Or at least my captain that I intend to actually finish one of the real endings on. This is not one of them. The first captain doesn't get that luxury because I actually want him to die. Godfall is to the south. How far to the south? Not too far. This is where Polythreme is. And in... I don't want to fight that fight. Yeah, they got an attack off. The brawling bearded men who call themselves monks. They pay lip service to Saint Stalactite, which fell from the roof, but their chief interest seems to be wine, blood, and shouting. So if you have mushroom wine, you can do things here. We're going to talk about their history. The stalactite they assure you is one of the citadels of the starred men who dwell on the roof. When it fell, few of its occupants survived to become the monks' progenitors. How does that work, you wonder, with their vow of celibacy? I'm vague and are suddenly eager to speak of details of passing ships. I kind of want that ship to go away. I could beat the ship, but I'm way too injured to want to. I would like to find Polythreme, though, if we can. And I would really like it if I could get the first legacy done with the Sphinx Stone, which this far away from London with this little hull is already making me nervous. Haven't found Polythreme yet, which is unfortunate. It wasn't this way. This leads to the lilies. Do not want to fight Bound Shark. Fortunately, the Bound Shark is not particularly fast. The lilies are actually fairly dangerous because of the enemies you can fight here. All in all, this is a fairly dangerous stretch of water, to be honest. We're almost to safer areas. This is Wisdom, a Conite prison. We can buy supplies here. Oops. Nup Mint built this place as a prison for the Conate. Now it answers only to its governor, and the governor answers to no one. Ships from the Conate are most common, but you see Shellonite vessels, Polythreme triremes with chained and sulky unfinished men, corsairs disposing of their miscreants, and even one furtive Iremi skiff. Wardens pay them well for their prisoners. You don't have any prisoners, and we're not going to rescue a prisoner, so we're going to move on. You can buy fuel from them and supplies at the usual rate, so it's not necessarily a bad idea to do so. Unfortunately, we've got a Bound Shark in our way, and okay. Should be able to get by him fairly safely. Our terror is at 48, which is not high enough to worry about. And we've got enough crew that I'm not overly worried about losing them to terror. If your terror gets to 100, kiss your captain goodbye. You're not making it back to shore. I know what this is. We'll explore it another time. This is the Principles of Coral. There is a city that we can come to out here, which is a fairly nice city. One of the things you'll find is that in the later videos, once this captain dies, there are certain things I always do at the start of each captain. And if we get to the point where I say, I'm going to go do these particular tasks, you should know them. The Sphinx Stones are generally one of the first things I get, though sometimes that's not the case. This particular map we've gotten, I'm not very fond of. We won't be keeping it. You can keep maps between captains, but it's not, like, when you get to your final captain, it's not useful to keep the map, you know, whoever you're going to try to do the most events on, because you don't get a lot of fragments, and fragments get you secrets, and secrets get you stat points. So there's no real use in keeping your map. And we're just going to sail on back to London, where we have a few things waiting for us, I believe. How lined up are we? We're a little north. I could swing southwest and stop by Abbey Rock, I suppose. Beneath, the cavern that holds the Untersee is prowled by dreams. There's a story that it once the skull of a dead god. Perhaps would explain it. What will you learn? 5 sailors dies for the corpse of a Zeebat. It is ill luck for a sailor to kill a Zeebat. One wins it, but in his hand it becomes a freshly cut surface flower. His fellows cry out in envy and greed. They fall upon him, and there comes a great rending of white petals. More petals fall, obscuring the mast of the ship. Beneath, the false stars of the roof. It's very cold. You will have to set a fire. I gain 1 terror and 1 Z story. Ooh. I don't mind that so much. But yes, once I have shown off the Sphinx Stone turn-in, I will be doing that quest, basically gathering port reports. Really don't want to fight that thing, so we're just going to go this way and let it... Oh dear God, why? Game, why you being mean like this? Stop following me! Fortunately, our Veils is high enough that they don't have their light trained on us. They tend to lose us. And of course, turning our own light off makes it harder for us to be spotted. You can buy better lights, but all they really do is up your mirrors, which is useful, but it also decreases your Veils, so I tend not to use them. I prefer Veils to mirrors almost always. I would rather avoid fights. We're not going to get away from this one. Well, maybe we are. I'll take it. What's our terror at? 62. That's not bad. We want to get it over 60. We want to get it over 50 because I do want to get a nightmare. Compile a port report. Watch the convent. Convent is silent. A few lights prick and bulk. Bells around the times of prayer. You're almost ready to give up. Side door opens. 4 nuns march out, carrying something wrapped in a blanket, fling it into the sea. You creep down and examine it. It's, well, slightly unidentifiable even before the nuns used it for weapons practice. Now it leaks fluid from a dozen puncture wounds, but it still smells of the Z. You now have one strange catch. We will knock at the doors with news. The muscular prioress, the abbess's lieutenant, comes to the door to listen. She nods and makes notes. She pays particular attention to the news of marsh beast predations and the traffic of the rooftops. In return, she offers a rather perfunctory blessing, but the blessing reassures your crew. Lose to fear. Alright. There we go. There's no shops there, so you can't buy anything. We are going to cruise rapidly towards London because we are short on fuel. We'll get a bit from our port reports, though. By the way, if you see a light ship here and you give them news, they reduce your terror by 5. It is significantly better than giving it to the nuns. I don't know if there's a rare event that can occur when you hand over the news to the nuns, so that might be better, but yeah. Also, you get a Z story from them, which is useful as well. So keep that in mind. But we are almost home. I'm going to sell the Sphinx Stone to show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to do... Well, I'd like to do the runs. Yeah, I could do the runs between now and the time we reconvene. I'll have some more money, and I can progress events then instead of now. Little dock. We have nothing to hide. You've seen that before. A breath of relief. As soon as the gangplank touches the quayside, the terrors of the deep lighten. Walk taller, smile more readily, but what dreams may cling? Terror is always reduced to 50 when you return to London. If it's higher, however, your terror was high, you may suffer nightmares. We did not get nightmares, which is a pity. I actually wanted to get nightmares. So, if we go to London here, we can deliver Sphinx Stone. Special constables, black uniforms, distinctive caps, the badge of Ministry of Public Decency, wait with a cart. You gain 500 echoes. Sign, sign, sign. Here's a receipt. Here's a discretion contract. Here's a penalty contract. Your vision is blurred by the end of it all. The cart rumbles off into coiling fog. Here's your reward. So we get a bunch of money. I'm going to go to the dry dock. This completely repairs your hull for 100 echoes. We're going to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to submit our port report because we might have a couple new ones. Brimstone Convention, they trouble me. It's worth 40 echoes. Godfall, Pirate Monks. I honestly have no idea what they're supposed to do about Pirate Monks. What are they up to? We're not going to submit that as fact. We've done Hunter's Keep. We've done Abbey's Rock. We've done Pigmote Island. Avid Horizon. I hope that you didn't tell me that everything is quiet there. I do. That unlocks a visit from Mr. Sachs, which we will deal with later. Wisdom, bird, the oracles look hungry. Okay, and that will be it for this part. I'm going to do Sphinx Stone runs until we get to the final one, and I will meet you back here in London. Actually, hold on. One more thing I want to do. Carouse the docks. Sea shanties, fine food, warmth of the pub fire, and something more. So we get our news. We lose 10 echoes. And don't think I came down to the docks just to see you. I've got business here. But alright, it did cross my mind that you might drop by. Shared warmth, new memories. It's harder to say goodbye this time. And we lose 10 terror. I'll probably do that one more time during my runs. But until our paths cross again, have fun and stay safe, everyone.